An instant hit or a swing and a miss? The critics have spoken, and not all of them are in love with Peacemaker. Here's what they're saying. Reviews for the James Gunn series Peacemaker have started to trickle in ahead of its January 13th debut on HBO Max, and much like its titular anti-hero, there's apparently a lot to like and abhor about the Suicide Squad spin-off. Alan Sepinwall wrote in his review for Rolling Stone, "Even in a wildly oversaturated market for tales of hypermuscular men and women punching their way to justice, Peacemaker stands out. You'll want to taste it, even the parts that are in incredibly bad taste." He also called the show a gloriously goofy send-up and a sincere character study rolled into one. Last time viewers saw John Cena's Peacemaker, aka Chris Smith, he was walking the line between DC Comics hero and full-blown villainy after taking the life of Joel Kinnaman's Rick Flag in the final act of Gunn's The Suicide Squad. In Peacemaker, the babbling brood is back and on a new mission per the orders of Amanda Waller. But there are a few things different about him. We learn more about his backstory and get to know the character on a more personal and emotional level, much to some viewers' dismay. As Carly Lane wrote for Collider, Peacemaker is definitely a less bombastic series, dealing more in relationships than action overall, but it might have also proven more successful if it wasn't so focused on trying to render its lead more of a likable douchebag. Here's what else critics are saying so far about the series, which as of the making of this video currently holds around a 90% score on Rotten Tomatoes. So far, the overall consensus from critics on Peacemaker has been positive, but in each review, there's been one constant critique: not enough action or edginess, most especially from Peacemaker. Angie Han wrote for The Hollywood Reporter, "Peacemaker loses too much of the darkness that made him compelling in the first place. James Gunn makes the character more likable at the cost of making him less interesting." Collider's Carly Lane agreed, saying, "What makes Peacemaker such an interesting and compelling character is his unrepentant awfulness, and the series choosing to backpedal on what could be considered his defining traits only makes for an aggressively fine follow-up." When it comes to the action in Peacemaker, it's obvious that Gunn didn't have as much to work with financially as he did making The Suicide Squad. Fred Topel from the United Press International wrote, "The Peacemaker series feels mostly like the Suicide Squad comedy scenes without the big action of a $100 million studio blockbuster. Fight scenes are not as clear or epic as the CW pulls off weekly in several superhero shows. However, on HBO Max, the fights are punctuated by the absurd violence that computer-generated visual effects allows. In spite of all this, critics ultimately believe there's enough creative meat on the Peacemaker bone to leave viewers satisfied for an entire season. When it comes down to it, James Gunn's Peacemaker isn't supposed to be a show that's perfect. And that's what makes it so perfect for some. The Daily Beast's Nick Shager said, "Self-conscious but never smug, sociopathic and yet also sweet, and timely if never preachy. It's the very sort of no-holds-barred, tongue-in-cheek endeavor that's become Gunn's specialty." Alan Sepinwall explained in Rolling Stone's review, "Between the blood and guts, the slapstick, the political satire, and the musical digressions, there is a lot going on here. Yet the series functions as a sincere character study of its flawed hero, and the unfortunate souls who have to work alongside him. Just enough for the joke to never quite wear thin." As for some of the biggest highlights for Gunn's new series, critics have propped up its character dynamics, opening credits sequences, and numerous appearances by Peacemaker's pet eagle as perfect examples of the director's over-the-top yet satisfying vision. Speaking specifically about the intro, Sepinwall said, "It is essentially an 80s-style music video. It's the kind of inspired gag that makes a mockery of the skip intro option, remaining a delight every single time it comes up. But then, the same could be said for old bucket-headed Peacemaker himself." Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite shows are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.